Good morning and welcome to another day in my life. It is Monday, June 7th. Yes, that is the correct date. Today will make 1 week if I can close my Apple Watch rings, which was one of my goals. If you watched my goals video that went up a couple weeks ago at this point, I have a goal to close my Apple Watch rings every day in the month of June. And I've done a perfect month once before. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, on the Apple Watch there are activity rings and you get credit for standing up during the day, for exercising, and then for active calories burned. And I've only had a perfect month where I closed all 3 rings every day for an entire month once before, and I'm on a mission to do it again in June. So far I'm 6 for 6, which is, I don't want to jinx it because it's still really early. There are still a lot of days left and you never know what could happen. I could get sick or something could happen where I don't get to close it one of the days. The hardest part for me so far, honestly, has been the standing. Like my apartment, I guess my apartment is just so small that even just like standing to work at my standing desk or pacing in the apartment, sometimes it doesn't register that I've stood up, and it's very frustrating. So anyways, that is not how I intended to kick off this video, but that's just thinking about the date. That's what I'm thinking about, is keeping on track with my Apple Watch rings closure, which will relate to something I'm gonna say in a minute. But let's start with a quick weekend recap. I originally had planned to vlog over the weekend because I did a couple fun things and I thought I would bring my camera and vlog over the weekend, but I realized quickly that I didn't want to do that, and I would rather just vlog on a Monday and give you a recap of the weekend and then show any B-roll that I managed to snag over the weekend, or pop up some pictures of what we did. There's somebody that I follow on Instagram, Kate Bryan. Her Instagram is K8 small things, and she is mostly like a beauty and clothing and hair. I mean, I guess that's part of beauty. It's like makeup and hair and clothing. Like true influencer is her job. But she always does this weekend recap thing. So instead of posting, she really does it for stories, not for vlogs on YouTube. But so instead of posting things over the weekend that she does, she on Mondays does like a weekend recap and post pictures and like, here's what we did over the weekend. I've contemplated doing that on Instagram. I think it's just the benefit of living in the moment, like being in the moment when it's happening and not being worried about Instagramming it. I'm still taking pictures and still taking video clips, but not worrying about posting them or capturing it for Instagram and just sharing it later as a recap. I'm not sure that that's where I'm going on Instagram, but that is what I am inspired by today to do a quick weekend recap. So the weekend for me technically starts Friday night, and I kicked Friday night off with a call with a videographer, and we ended up booking that videographer. So that is checked off of the wedding to-do list, which feels so good. I also booked a makeup and hair team last week. A team isn't the right word. It's one woman who owns a business, but then she has to bring extra people because we have that many people getting hair and makeup done. So anyways, I booked both of those things last week and that feels really good. So that was Friday night. Then Sam and I ended up going out to dinner Friday night, just in our neighborhood, just the 2 of us, and then came home and caught up on some TV shows. We are all caught up now on the Law and Order, both SVU and Organized Crime. And then Saturday was, oh, it was just so fun. So if you are new around here or you don't remember, I used to be a part of a dance company here in New York called DanceWorks in New York City. They also have a Boston location. And it is a program, a dance company created for people who used to dance, who love to dance and want to perform, but have a 9-to-5 job and aren't doing dance as their full-time job. And so they rehearse in the evenings, and then there's usually one show. There's one in the fall and one in the spring. And I did it for a couple of years, and then I took maybe like a year and a half off because I just kept having conflicts with either the tech rehearsal or the actual performance. There just kept being like weddings or trips or things that conflicted with the show. And so I haven't done it in a while, but they continuously do workshops throughout the years or throughout the seasons. And I always try to go to the workshops. It's fun to see everybody. It's a great opportunity to dance and continue to support the program that I love, and maybe someday we'll go back to. I don't know. I feel like I'm at the point now where I feel like there will always be conflict, so I don't know if it'll ever line up again. But anyways, they finally were able to figure out a space and a safe way to do an outdoor dance class. Now, fitness in general is back open in New York City, so this was planned like, I don't know, maybe a month or 2 ago, back when restrictions were still a little bit different. So now I think they probably could have done it inside, but they did it outside. Thankfully, it didn't rain. Unfortunately, it was like almost 90 degrees outside and it was hot. There was not a cloud in the sky and it was very hot, but it was so much fun. So I took a hip hop class. My friend Jason, who I actually was in one of his dances in one of the shows, was the choreographer instructor, and it was just so much fun. Like, I wasn't concerned about anything, and because we were outside, there were no mirrors, and that just made it almost just made it more fun. Like, we were not focused on looking at ourselves in the mirror or looking at other people. Like, you just danced for yourself, and we danced facing the New York City skyline. The location we were at was in Brooklyn, so we danced facing the skyline, and it was just beautiful, and it was just fun. And it reminded me how much I love dance. On last week's Lattes with Laken, we talked a lot about hobbies, and I've been trying to figure out a hobby to do here at home, because I feel like I need like something I can do in a short time frame that's a hobby that I can do at home. And I've been playing with the idea of both piano, buying a keyboard and getting back into piano, or getting roller skates or rollerblades. I guess that's not really at home, but like, I don't have to make a plan. It's something that I can just do when I want. And someone reminded me that dance really is a hobby that I love, and I love taking dance classes. It is fitness, it is good for my body, but it's really just good for my mind, and it makes me so happy. And so I'm signed up for another dance class, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. This weekend, my future mother-in-law is coming to visit, so that's everything this weekend. But next weekend I'm signed up for another one, and I'm just excited. It just makes me so happy. So I need to make sure that I'm incorporating dance as things start to open back up and dance classes are an option, incorporating that regularly into my schedule. So that was Saturday. Saturday, right after the class, I took myself to this like juice bar that was around the corner. Honestly, it was really hot, and I just like wasn't quite ready to get on the subway, and I had brought my laptop with me just in case I wanted to go to a coffee shop and like do something in the afternoon. I actually thought I was gonna want to sit outside and enjoy the weather, but I did not. I wanted to sit inside where it was cool and air conditioned. So I went to this little juice bar, set up my laptop, and worked on some more wedding stuff. And then I just came home and kind of relaxed. Sam was out with a friend, and I just kind of took Saturday night to be alone, and I ended up binge watching every episode thus far of High School Musical, the series. It's cheesy, but I loved every second of it. I also just love High School Musical. That is like my wheelhouse. I think the original movie came out when I was in high school, and I was also the Wildcats in high school, and our high school used High School Musical music at pep rallies. Like, it's very cheesy, but I love the original, and so I loved the show. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's on Disney Plus, and it's a sitcom about high schoolers that do High School Musical, the musical, as their high school musical. How many times can I say High School Musical? Anyways, so if you like High School Musical, or you like high school type sitcoms and you haven't watched it, I recommend it. And then on Sunday, we actually went up to Connecticut for the day. So Sam's colleague which is the guy that owns the financial planning practice that Sam is a part of, he and his husband just bought a house up in Connecticut. They used to live here in the city, but as they got married like right before everything shut down and need more space, they're planning to start a family. And so we went up to Connecticut to spend the day with them. We had brunch, we got to see their new house, and they are doing tons of renovations, and it's fun to just like see the progress, and like they showed us a bunch of before and after photos, and it was just really nice to see their house. And then we had dinner. It was like all very centered around meals, minus just like hanging out and chatting. And it was really nice to just like see them and catch up with them. Like it's someone that Sam interacts with regularly, but not like the four of us hanging out and being able to talk about not work things and just like catch up. It was just really nice. And so that is what we did yesterday. Again, it was very hot out. We should have brought our swimsuits and gone to the beach, but that was not the plan. Cause I mean, weather pending. Like as soon as we saw the weather, we should have been like, let's pivot our like brunch and dinner reservations and like go to the beach for the whole day. But oh well, we said we would make another plan to go back up there and go spend the day at the beach with them. So that was our weekend. It was so much fun. And now that was a lot of talking. I didn't think I was gonna talk for that long, but now it is lunchtime, and I did not have time to kick off the vlog. I didn't have time to do a lot of things this morning because it is our summer interns' first day. If you were around last summer, we had a summer intern last summer as well that I interviewed and hired, and then last year was hard because we didn't know what the summer was gonna look like, and there was all this like up in the air. Is it gonna be virtual? Is it still gonna happen? And it was tough. This year, we knew going into it, it was gonna be virtual. Like we knew from the interviews, it was gonna be virtual. It was gonna be a full 10-week program and like be ready to go. And so today was our intern's first day, so I got to kick things off with her. Spent most of my morning before work, like I opened up my laptop at like 7:30 because I still had some prep work, and just to make sure that everything was ready to go for her when she started at 9. And then I spent most of my morning working with her, and now it is lunchtime. But so because of that, I did not get to clean or work out this morning before work. And the cleaning, I'm just gonna put it off. If you watch my goals video, I talked about how my goal is to clean one thing every day, and I'm just not gonna worry about it today. I'm tracking it, I'll show you a little bit differently. If you didn't see that video in my power sheets, this is kind of how I'm tracking it. And so I just have like the week of the 7th, I need to do all of these different things, and I'm just gonna, and it's not gonna happen today. Like the goal is for this to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like each of these things. But if it doesn't happen that way, it's okay. So skipping that. I am gonna do the workout. I'm planning to hop on the Peloton and do the Hamilton workout, just 30 minutes, get it done, close the ring on my Apple Watch and check that off. And then I need to fold some laundry. I actually did a load of laundry on Saturday night that I never folded. And then the load I did this morning, I need to also fold. So I have a huge pile of laundry on the bed that I need to fold. But I did actually already eat lunch. I mentioned this before, but there's a couple other apps in my Routinery app on my phone. One of them being the second part of my morning routine. I talked about that in a vlog. And then my lunch routine, that like, it's more of a checklist that I get all these things done during my lunch break, not necessarily that I do them in that order. So I have a bunch of things listed in my lunch routine in my Routinery app that it's almost like I go through them at the end and make sure that I did all of them. And so like I was starving. I just had a yogurt and granola for breakfast this morning because I was in a rush. And so I just really wanted to eat lunch before I even kicked off this vlog. But it works out because now I'm able to talk about what I have been having for dessert for lunch every day. Dessert is relative. In one of my last vlogs, I did a like kind of what I eat in a day video. And I talked about how I always need something sweet at the end pretty much of every meal. Like I also really want something sweet at the end of breakfast. Luckily my yogurt usually satisfies that. But I always need like just something sweet to wrap up the meal. And what I've been having for lunch has been awesome. So I think also in that same video, I talked about the Quest salted caramel protein shakes that I really like to put in lattes. And it's perfect in lattes and adds some extra protein, and it's very delicious. But I have a ton of those protein shakes because I bought like a huge pack of them from Amazon. And I want to drink them more because I want the protein, and they do taste good, but they are too sweet. Like it's too sweet. I can't drink them on their own, which is weird for me. Someone with a sweet tooth, like I can't drink them on their own. Well, what I finally started doing is cutting it with milk, just oat milk. So instead of just drinking the protein shake by itself, what I do is kind of a crazy specific measurement, but just take this idea and run with it. If that is something that you struggle with those protein shakes being too sweet, I do 2/3 cup of the protein shake, which is about half of the container. That way it lasts me 2 days, and then 1/3 cup oat milk. And it is just the perfect cut. It makes it not as sweet. It gives me more volume. And this is just like the perfect dessert to lunch. I also put some ice cubes in it to keep it like super cold, although usually I drink it before the ice cubes even really get a chance to melt, but I've been talking for so long that it might be a little bit melty, a little bit water, but it has been just the best way to end my lunch. And then I'm still getting some of that extra protein from the protein shake, even the days that I don't have a latte, because I don't necessarily make a latte every single day. I didn't today, I just didn't have time, but I'm still gonna get that protein shake in. So I think that was it that I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna go get all the other things that I need to get done during this lunch break done. Okay, I think I've mentioned this once before, but one of the things I've been trying to do as part of my lunchtime routine is something for dinner. Prep something for dinner. Even if it's just pulling some of the dry ingredients out and putting them on the counter, making sure I know what we're cooking. Best case scenario is I'm like putting something in the crock pot and then there's no dinner prep, but usually it's somewhere in between. Maybe I'm cooking a protein. Maybe I'm chopping up some vegetables. Like I usually try and spend 10-15 minutes during lunch trying to do something to make dinner easier later. So today it's gonna be putting this salmon in a marinade. So let me get you set up. So I'm just making a really easy marinade for the salmon. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just kind of throwing some things in. I'm using the rest of this, well, there's not really that much in here, hoisin sauce, just because, again, there wasn't that much left in here, and this has been sitting in our fridge for a while, and I was like, we just need to get rid of it. And then I'm gonna put some soy sauce. That's kind of the majority of it. And then always salt and pepper. I feel like that's one thing I learned from watching all the cooking shows is there is never too much thing of salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna put some garlic powder. I could put some fresh garlic. I might still do that. And then some ginger. Again, this would also be better if this was fresh ginger and not just whatever this is, grated ground ginger, but this is what we've got. And then I think I'm also gonna throw in a little bit of sugar. If I had it, I would use brown sugar, but I don't. So we're just gonna use normal. Well, I mean, like, I know it's brown, but this is like raw sugar or whatever. I'm just gonna kind of mix all that together. My big glass container that I would normally do this in is dirty. I don't love this container because it's got these little ridges and everything's kind of getting stuck in there, but it's big enough for my salmon. So this is just the salmon from Trader Joe's. I get the barbecue cut so that it feels like they're more evenly, the thickness like is more even than when you get like the actual salmon. I do think it's a little bit more expensive. I can't really remember, but I'm just gonna put those face down in there. Got my 3 little salmon guys. Get those in the shot. And then I'm just gonna kind of like swivel it around and make sure I'm getting it all coated. Again, this is not like a perfect science. This is not something that has to be a certain amount or sit for a certain amount of time or have certain ingredients. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. Shake the sauce around one more time, and then that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this lid on, and then I'm gonna let this sit in the fridge until dinner time. Hello, it is now evening time. It's about 5:45, and I just finished doing all of my communication routine where I respond to texts and comments and messages right after work, usually from 5 to 6. It doesn't always take me that full hour. I did not have very many Instagram DMs today, so it definitely did not take me the full hour. So now I'm gonna do some more Plan with Laken work. Normally on Mondays, I don't have anything scheduled. Like, I try not to have any plan in the evening. And also normally in the evenings, if I do schedule something, it's one thing. Like one thing that I try to do after work before like relaxing in bedtime. Otherwise, I will completely overcommit myself and I won't have any rest, or I'll stay up late because I want to rest before I actually go to bed. And so max one thing. Mondays and Fridays, I try to have 0 things. That way I can just go with what I'm feeling. And if I'm feeling productive or I'm feeling energized, then I can go work on a thing. But if I'm not, I could just read or take a bubble bath or do something else. But this month, that is not the case. I need to do some brushing up on my Accelerate Your Goals course talking points. The majority of it is done. Like I obviously created all the slides and everything for the first session, the first launch of Accelerate Your Goals. And then I even updated everything based on feedback from the first round of students for this round, but I just want to go over it one more time. And I probably would have done it over the weekend had I had time, and I guess I did have time on Saturday, but I didn't really wanted to relax. So because we were gone all day yesterday, I did not get to it yesterday. So I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna try to power through this in like 45 minutes so I can start cooking dinner at 6:30 so I can be done at 7. And if I don't finish it in that time, I'll just do it after dinner. But actually, before I start doing that, I want to open a box. I want to open a package. And this big giant box came in the mail today. If you watched my June goals video, actually, if you watched my May goals video, I talked about I want to make a vision board for that space right there above my computer. And originally, because all my vision boards are digital, I was just going to make it really simple. And I was gonna put the 6 digital vision boards that I have on one, like combine them into one photo, and then upload them to a website called FrameBridge, where you can have them frame basically anything you want. But you can upload digital photos and they will print them and frame them and ship them to you. And you can get like custom sizes and whatnot. So that was my original plan. 2 things. One, the like orientation of the digital versions of my vision boards, trying to get them into a frame that's gonna fit there was just not quite working out. And I'm more concerned about the frame fitting in the space long term, so that, because let's be honest, by the time I get this up, we're gonna be halfway through this year. But I wanna use it for future vision boards. So I wanted the frame to fit well. The other thing was there were some things on those digital vision boards that, if you notice, when I post them places, I blurred out. Like some things are personal and I don't want those on my wall for everyone to see. So I think I'm gonna kind of redo them. And here's one of my debates. Do I redo them and like already check off the things that I've done? Like I wrote on there, find our dream apartment, because that was one of my 2021 goals, visions, and it happened. So I haven't quite decided if I'm gonna keep the things that I feel like I have already accomplished this year, or just kind of reconfigure them and make sure I don't put on the things that I've been blurring out. And then the other debate that I'm having is, do I still do it all digitally and then get a big one printed? That's harder now that this is the frame, in case you didn't figure that out, that I ordered from Amazon. Or do I get the photos printed out and then actually, and like get a white poster board and do it by hand? I feel like that would be more fun, and I feel like that would be more, maybe like let it sink in a little bit more, like rewriting some of those things that I put on my vision board. But anyways, all of that to say, this ended up being a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be. What I got in the mail is a frame from Amazon. I just kind of measured out what I thought would look good on that wall, and I ordered this from Amazon. It's very light, and like I'm getting the feeling that there's not actually any glass. I don't know. This is very bizarre. Hold on. Okay, so it is not glass. It is like a plastic frame. It's a wood, white. It's actually probably not wood. It's probably, and look, it's already messed up. Look at this. Ugh, that's so frustrating. I mean, it's easy to fix with just some white paint, but like, that's brand new. I'm like, that's really frustrating. Anyway, let's see how it looks. Well, the size is perfect. The frame is a little bit messed up, and I should have looked a little bit closer that it wasn't going to be glass, but the size is absolutely perfect. So now I just need to figure out what I'm going to do here. And it is a square, so that would be easy in terms of like designing something, but I don't even know where I would get something this big printed and not pay a ton of money for it. So I think I just talked myself into actually doing it myself and like getting a white poster board and kind of collaging it on there. I don't know when that's gonna happen. It's definitely not happening this weekend with my future mother-in-law here. So I will share with you when I do get around to doing that. All right, dinner time. Besides the salmon that has been marinating, that I haven't decided if I'm gonna stick it in the oven or just like pan sear it. I just like to keep things simple. And whether that's everything going in one pot, like a crock pot, or like one pan meal, or frozen things, pre-cut things, the number of ingredients, I just like to keep things simple. So for veggies, we are doing the frozen Brussels sprouts from Trader Joe's. I will just put these on a pan with some olive oil and some seasoning and stick those in the oven for usually about 20-25 minutes. We like to just make sure that they're nice and we don't like them mushy. Let's put it that way. And then this is also from Trader Joe's, and this is the mushroom and herb risotto. Not necessarily the healthiest thing in the world, but it's easy and delicious. And like, I just focus on portion control. I will pre-portion out everything between the salmon and the Brussels sprouts and the risotto on the side, and it feels like a very balanced meal when I'm done with it. All right, I'm back at my desk because I didn't finish everything I need to finish before I just got too hungry and wanted to go cook dinner. Because I didn't have my normal breakfast, I ate lunch earlier and then I needed to eat dinner earlier. I should have known better. I should have better prepared to have, or had Sam, but he was in this all-day meeting today, so he also didn't have time to cook breakfast before it started. We just didn't plan well. Getting home, not late last night, but like later than enough time to get up early and actually do what we wanted to do for breakfast this morning, which is not the end of the world. It's just something I noticed, I'm trying to be more thoughtful. That's something that I'm working on in terms of, from like a health and wellness standpoint, is just be more mindful of how I'm feeling, when I want something, when I'm hungry, when I'm full, all of those kinds of things. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not actually tracking food right now or doing any kind of set meal plan. I'm just trying to be more thoughtful. Like yesterday when we went to brunch, I ordered a salad as my side. I got eggs Benedict like I do pretty much anytime I go out to breakfast or brunch, but it was supposed to come with breakfast potatoes, and not that potatoes are bad, and I love potatoes. I think we've talked about my love of potatoes before. I decided that I was gonna go ahead and get a side salad because the English muffin on my eggs Benedict was gonna count as my carb. So just little things like that, little decisions that I'm making, and just being more mindful of things that I do instead of just I'm trying not to like watch TV and eat at the same time anyways, but I don't know what I'm rambling about. I did not finish, made dinner. Dinner was great, came back to my desk, finished what I need to finish for the goals course tomorrow, which reminds me, I had a lot of feedback and comments just saying that June was not a good time for them, and doing a live course in June just wasn't gonna work in their schedule. So there will be a fall session. I'm still nailing down the dates around all of the weddings that we have going on in the fall. But if you would like to be in the know about all the details for the Accelerate Your Goals course in the fall, I will leave the link for the wait list down below. Like well, I say we're far out, but like it'll be here before we know it. Anybody else feel like this year has flown? Absolutely flown by. I cannot believe it's already June. Anyways, I'll leave that link down below if you are interested in getting on the wait list for the fall. No commitment necessary when you get on the wait list, but you do get a bonus when you get on the wait list. So just FYI. Okay, I'm gonna close out this vlog because I'm tired. Like it's 7:45, but as I'm sitting here, I like just realize how tired I am, and I need to go get my AM routine. Whoa, that's how tired I am. I need to go get my PM routine done before exhaustion sets in. Like before I go sit on the couch and watch an episode of something with Sam and then not do my PM routine. So I'm gonna go do that and close out this vlog here. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. That is not important, Laken. There's just so much information. This clip is so long. After that was a really long intro. It is Monday. It's more than an intro. Hi, okay. Hello, it is normally on the evenings. Don't finish it, and then a little bit of little bit of